Last night, I asked ChatGPT to profile me. What does it mean? I said, Chat, you and I are in a relationship for a few years now. You know pretty much everything about me, about my business. Tell me what you think about me with all the information that you have. And the answer was so interesting how the AI perceives me, perceives grow to scale. And I did not manipulate the answer. I just let it go free and wild and just communicate what it thinks. So I'll share with you the answer. And the funny thing is that it was 97% accurate. So that was really interesting. So here's what ChatGPT answered. Based on what I've seen across our conversations, here's my read. You are not really a business coach. Yes, I am. It says, you're a business mechanic who accidentally got labeled as a coach. Most coaches live in the world of motivation, mindset, and generic advice. You keep gravitating towards systems, operations, automation, process design, customer journey, AI integration, and execution. Even your business chiropractor positioning reflects that. And if you go to my website, you will see that I branded myself as the business chiropractor. Your consultancy, or sorry, you are constantly looking for misalignments that's causing the pain, then figure out how to adjust it. So far, so good. Few things stand out. You're highly execution oriented. You don't spend much time discussing theories. Most of your questions eventually lead to how do we build this? How do we automate this? How do we make this scalable? How do we turn this into a repeatable system? You seem to get bored when things stay at the strategy level for too long. Well, strategy without execution is just a piece of paper in a drawer. So unless, yes, you need to start with the strategy, which is why one of my approaches is strategy first. But if you don't do anything with the report and the audit that we created, then you don't move anywhere from the place you were before we did the audit. So yeah, I get it bored from just the strategy level. I want to create the strategy and then execute it. Go, 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 go. Um, you naturally think in frameworks. That's true. You rarely approach problem as isolated issue. When discussing marketing, sales, operations, hiring, AI, customer success, you almost always try to connect them into larger systems. That's a consultant trait, not just coach trait. Well, it's kind of true. I'm a consultant. I'm not only asking you directive questions, which I do, and I help you come up with your own answers to a problem. But a lot of times, people just have knowledge gaps. They have knowledge gaps that they cannot bridge themselves unless I come in and I start helping them figuring out how or what needs to be done in order to execute on or get to where they want to go. So if somebody comes to me and says, I want to start selling in US, and they didn't think about all the things that need to happen before the first sale happens, then I have to stop them and say, whoa, 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 horsey, let's talk about what needs to happen. Corporate structure, tax strategy, legal and contracts. You need strategies for sales, for marketing. You need to redesign your online presence because the website does not communicate well what you do, so it's unclear for the customers. You have no marketing materials. You have no white papers, so you can't go to customers and tell them this is what we do. This is the breakdown. These are the use cases in the past. You have nothing to come to the market with. You don't have a bank account, so where's the money gonna go? If you want to sell in US and you have a headquarters in another country, what are the implications of the legal implications, the tax implications? How is the customer going to look at you, and are they going to trust you to deliver the service if you are not local to the market? Whether it's because of cybersecurity concerns, whether it's because they need immediate response and you are outside of their time zone, significantly outside on another side of the world, and so on. So these are a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration. And without bridging those knowledge gaps, because the business owner doesn't think about them or doesn't even know that these need to be considerations for them before they make the first sale, I have to jump into the consultant mode versus a coach mode and help them out and help them handhold them through the process. So it's true. It's a consultant trait. You're constantly looking for leverage. A lot of people want growth. You seem obsessed with efficiency. That's different. Many business owners ask, how do I make more money? You often ask, how do I get the same better result with less waste, less chaos, fewer moving parts, and less dependency on me? And when I say on me, I mean on the business owner. Growth is a compounding outcome of having the right systems in place. Once you build solid foundation for business growth, then you are free to spend money on marketing and handle that influx in customers in order to grow and scale your business. But if you don't have a solid foundation, you don't have the right team, you don't have the resources, you don't have the tech stack, you don't have the right tools in place in order to capture, nurture, follow up, and convert those customers and provide them service, then what are you like? Okay, you're going to spend $10,000 on marketing. What's next? Your ROI is really, really low, if at all, because you have no infrastructure to support that growth. So sometimes skipping steps and rushing into things is not the right way to go. And bridging those gaps might be maybe done through acquiring a company that already has that infrastructure and using them as a supporting or a jumping um, starting point, whatever the word in English is. But you can't expect growth and scaling without the cost of investing a lot of money in marketing and low conversion rates or low delivery and quality because you don't have the right people and technology in place to do that. Then, so you ask often, how do I get the same or better results with less waste, less chaos, fewer moving parts, and less dependencies on me, on the business owner? That's the mindset of someone who has seen enough operational messes to know revenue alone does not solve problems. Amen to that. It's like it does not, revenue is not equal profit. Revenue is nice. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep in your pocket. You have a builder's brain. You repeatedly create frameworks, templates, dashboards, automation systems, tools, and apps. Most consultants stop at recommendations. You seem happiest when something tangible gets built. Kind of true. It's pretty accurate. When I see the results and I see things fall into place, I feel happy for sure. You value practicality over appearances. You consistently reject language that feels corporate, fluffy, over-polished, consultant speak. You want things explained like two smart people having coffee. That tells me you care more about usefulness than sounding impressive. And there's so many examples where I was sitting in boardrooms or I was sitting in huge meetings with 20, 30 people when we're having a business analysis or business consultancy or a project launch meeting, and the speaker, whoever facilitates this meeting, speaks such complex jargon and such high level words and minces every message that he's trying to deliver, that which causes it to, for one small idea to be complicated into 30-minute speech. And not everybody understand that language, not everybody understand these complex concepts, so you need to align and communicate on the level. And it doesn't, I'm not coming from a condescending place, you need to align it to the audience so the audience can easily understand it, get to the point, and move on to the next topic, or get the answer that you need and move on to the next question. There is no need to make everybody in the room feel like they're the dumbest people on earth because you want to position yourself as the smartest and the most highly educated and complex persona there. What for? It doesn't move the project forward. It just makes you look like a, I don't want to say the word, but I'm against it. One thing that could be both a strength and a weakness, you often see solutions faster than many people around you. That's true. It's like a 3D hologram of all the possible solutions. The upside, you identify bottlenecks quickly, you connect dots quickly, you spot inefficiencies quickly. The downside, it can become frustrating when others don't move the same speed. You may occasionally underestimate how much guidance people need before they are ready for the solution you already see. And that's a common trait among operators, strategists, and system builders. And I always joke about it when I explain to people how my brain works. And I explain to them, listen, my brain works in 3D holograms. You talk about a problem, and I have a pop-up in front of my eyes, which is invisible. And no, I'm not crazy, but it creates like a 3D hologram in front of my eyes of all the possible solutions and all the possible paths that we can take in order to get to the uh, goal that the person is communicating to me, or possible solution to the problem they're asking about. And my challenge, which I struggle on a daily basis, and I also have to master every single new customer I work with, is how do I narrow down the optimal idea that out of all these ideas, how do I choose the least resistance path that is gonna bring the highest value, the quickest result, and at the lowest cost for the business owner, and without affecting negatively whatever is happening around them. Then, what I think your biggest positioning challenge is, so AI tells me what is my biggest positioning challenge. You do so many things that your expertise can become difficult to categorize. Very true. Very true. You're a poor strategist, consultant, operator, system architect, AI integrator, process optimizer, and growth advisor. It's very, very true. The challenge isn't capability. The challenge is helping prospects understand that what box to put you in. Ironically, your strongest differentiator may be that you don't fit neatly into any of those boxes. If I had to summarize you in one sentence, you're less of a business coach and more of a business scaling engineer, someone who diagnoses growth constraints, redesigns the system underneath them, and then helps build the machinery needed for scale. That's the pattern I've seen consistently across almost every conversation we had. This is 97% accurate. And if you ever wanted to understand who am I, what do I do, and what the hell am I talking about when I say that when you ask me what do you do, so like depends on your problem because I do it all. This is my differentiator. I am capable of doing all of these things, and I adjust and adapt my solution or my offering to the problem that my prospect is trying to solve. So a lot of times when I have a one-on-one with a person or a prospect, I don't speak first. I ask them to explain to me who they are, what do they do, and what the challenges they're experiencing. Because based on their story and their opening, I can adjust my response and my pitch to them because I can do a lot of things. And this, guys, is what ChatGPT thinks about me. Now, the question is, what do you think about me? And what do you think about what ChatGPT said? Does it align? Bye, guys.